So, exactly what is the Mandela Effect? I don't like this camera right here. Let's see if this is good. Or whatever. But yeah, exactly what is the Mandela Effect theory? Now, it was named after, obviously, Nelson Mandela because thousands of people remembered him dying in prison in the late 80s. And now in this timeline, he died in the 2000s at some point. I don't quite remember. I think it was maybe around 2009 or 2013. But a lot of people, including me, remember him dying in prison because, one, I learned about it in school in the 90s, and two, there was this movie called Serafina. It was actually one of my mom's favorite movies, and she used to make us watch it, and in the movie there was points in the movie where they were mourning Mandela's death. And this movie, sorry, something just scared me. But in this movie came out, I believe, in the early 90s or the late 80s. So for them to mourn his death in the movie, he would have to have been dead while he was in prison in the 80s. So to better explain the Mandela effect, it's basically when a large number of people remember certain things being a different way than they are now. Like with Louis Anderson. I remember him dying of a heart attack in 1999. But he's alive and well by some great trick or whatnot. And the most recent one, well, actually, that happened to me today. Everybody knows the Queen movie came out like a couple months ago, and I went to see it. I was a fan before, but that made me an even bigger fan now. And I've been listening to their music nonstop since I watched the movie, so I know a lot of their songs, like verbatim. And one of them said, I was watching a video earlier, and they were like, people hear Freddie Mercury saying in the song "We Are the Champions," they hear him saying "of the world" in the song, which I hear him saying it all the time. Like the last time I listened to the song was like 2 weeks ago. So I listened to it on my morning commute while taking the kids to school, and I've been on vacation the past week and a half, so I haven't really been listening to it that much. But I know it says "of the world" in the song. There are some people that say it's only in the live version, but no, I listen to both live and the master, the masters. So yeah, that was the most recent one. But the one right before that was the Jamaican megastar Buju Banton just got released from jail or from prison this past December, like a couple weeks ago. And the funny thing is, I remember him being released in December 2015. And I remember that because early 2017, I was driving with my brother in my car because I had just gotten a car, and me and him, I was taking him somewhere, and we were listening to reggae, and one of his songs came on, and my brother is like, he's stupid because he came here and messed himself up. And he was like, oh, I wonder when he was getting out of jail. And I made the comment, oh, he's been out. And my brother was shocked. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah. So him being shocked, because he's more of a reggae listener than me, and him being shocked, I'm like, let me go home and Google it. And then I Googled it, and it said he's set to be released in December 2018. And yet he was released December 2018. So those are the two more recent occasions that's happened to me. Excuse me. Regarding the Mandela effect. So a better breakdown, I'm pretty sure I said it before. It's when a large group of people remember certain things being a certain way instead of the way they are now. And I like to categorize them in universe A's and B's. There's multiple universe A's and multiple universe B's. Universe A is just the way you remember it being. Like me remembering Louis Anderson dying in 1999. That was a universe A of the Louis Anderson. Now we're in the universe B of Louis Anderson, who is alive and well. So that's that universe A and B. So we're not in a constant B or constant universe C. It just keeps shifting over and over. The way you remember it is always universe A, and the way it is now universe B. I mean, that's just how I categorize it. It is not a universal thing. It's just how I categorize it. But yeah, there's just a lot of things going on, and it's even more and more now. What I think is happening is, if you've ever seen the movie Butterfly Effect, like, there's a lot of people out there. I always say to pay attention to movies and stuff they do in Hollywood, because they really have some sort of truth in them. But again, like in the Butterfly Effect, when every time Ashton Kutcher goes back and alters time, it's a cranial displacement, I think they call it, where he gets this huge headache and starts to have a nosebleed. And I think that's what it is, but we aren't all getting the new update of what has changed. You know, since we all live in the quote-unquote matrix, we're not getting the software updates that everybody, you know, the majority of people are getting, and we're stuck remembering the old updates. Well, the old stuff, not the new stuff. So that's basically what I think it is. It's a time traveling thing. There's people jumping back in time and subsequently messing things up. I'm not sure if the people that sent them back in time know that things have changed. I'm pretty sure they do, because they're hearing other people talk about it. But it's just so much. And we'll never quite know what happened or what's going on. But I believe it's a time interference. That's why a lot of videos surface, and not all, you can't believe all of them, but you can kind of tell which is true and which is crap, basically. There's a lot of videos now, or pictures. I remember watching a video on YouTube years ago. It was with this guy, and he said that his mom volunteered him for a program where him and many other children were sent back in time. Now, I believe him, because I sort of believe him. Not 100% without proof. And proof can always be doctored, The proof can always be doctored, so you never really quite know who's telling the truth and who is not, or who is trying to pull a fast one. The technology is so advanced now that you can kind of make people believe whatever you want them to believe. So it's hard to know who to believe and who not. But you can kind of figure things out by yourself. So I've heard of even landmarks being changed, places moving from here, places moving to there. And I never really studied the map. I really don't know where nowhere is. So I can't comment on the geographical changes, just I guess pop culture and stuff from my own personal life that is considerably different than they used to be. And I think I explained my very first experience with the Mandela Effect in one of my earlier videos, where it was regarding the Berenstain Bears. That's before I knew about the Mandela Effect. And I remember my son was in kindergarten. He came home and he said, you know, Mom, we read this book today. It was about this bear family that lived in the woods and blah 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 and blah blah blah. So I was like, oh cool, Berenstain Bears. And he was like, yeah. So I go to look it up, because you know the school gives you those scholastic papers to go online and order books. So I went on there to get him a few, because I grew up with Berenstain Bears, and I was like, oh, I can get him a few. I won't, do anything. But then I went to look for it on there and typed it in the way I remember, and nothing came up. Under that, it came up as Berenstain with the A, Berenstain Bears. So I was like, that ain't it. So I went on Google and I started typing Berenstain Bears, because I know I didn't remember it being Berenstain or anything crazy like that. And then all this stuff started popping up about Mandela Effect, and I started watching videos, and then I heard about the Nelson Mandela, and it's like, wait, he I know he died back then, and all this stuff. So that's how I first got into it. And what really made me really delve into it was after me doing all that research and finding the Mandela Effect. I went back to my son, because I was like, I know I'm not crazy. He clearly came home and and I asked him about it, and he was like, and he didn't remember talking to me about it at all. He didn't remember the Bear family. He didn't remember him reading anything about it. I even showed him pictures of one of the books and say, yeah, with the Bear family. He's like, no, I never read one of their books. So after that, I'm like, oh no, something's completely wrong here, And after that, like, I've been noticing a lot more stuff, especially with Louis Anderson. That just like rocked my brain, because I don't want to say I was a huge fan, but I used to watch him he had a show called Life with Louis, and I used to watch it every week, and it used to come on, I think, Saturday mornings, on that one Saturday morning on Channel 10 in the mornings, and I used to watch it. And then I remember either ET News or whatever news was on Channel 7, entertainment news, and they were like, Louis Anderson passed away of a heart attack. And I was like, damn, that sucks, because he voiced the character in the show. I'm like, damn, I'm not going to be able to watch one of my favorite shows now. As a child thinking, we're not thinking about anything important, just that I wouldn't be able to watch my own show. And those things stick out to me, because it really hits me in my memories. But the most recent one about Queen and Freddie Mercury, that really like pisses me off, because like, I love Freddie, and I'm not interested in anybody screwing around with Freddie Mercury and his music, and then Queen's music and their legacy. I don't like that at all. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. That's the gist of it. Mandela Effect. You just remember things being a certain way, and now they turn out to be in the universe B. It turns out to be something different. Like, somebody mentioned that they think it's a cross between universes, a cross between universes. And I don't think that's what it is. I just think somebody's screwing around with time and just switching things. I sort of believe in destiny, and not necessarily. I believe in free will to a certain degree, and destiny. I just think things are destined to go a certain way. Like, things are written. You know, your book is written. You're going to make the same choices over and over again. You're not going to make a different choice than you've made. So there's no, you know, side A. There's no side B. This not, here's a decision, you made this decision, or you make that decision, and then it just keeps going and going and keep growing arms. I don't believe that's how it is. I just believe it's just this one straight line. You make all the same decisions over and over and over again, and somebody keeps jumping from here into there, and then it kind of throws things off a little bit, but you still are on the same path. It's just now your memories have been affected. Things in the past have changed, and it has altered the future in some way, but not enough to where it's a completely different, you know, future than what it was supposed to be. I just think it's the memories that have been messed up. Like things that have happened in the past, not things moving forward. Maybe that's why they keep going back to try to change what happens in what's going to happen in the future. But sadly, I don't think they're going to be able to change anything, and they wouldn't know until it comes to pass. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm really huge into the Mandela Effect and all the different A's and B's and stuff. It's just trying to figure out what's causing it. But I definitely do agree with the updates, and that a lot of us aren't getting all the updates of when stuff had changed. Just like this new show on Netflix. Well, it's not new, but it's called Travelers. And basically they're all just codes being sent back to the past to, you know, try to change the future. But this past season, they realized that no matter what they do, the future is not going to change. And they have these historians that get these updates of things that have changed in the future, and like missions. And only certain people get those updates. Everybody else just kind of has to do what they say in order to prevent certain things from happening. And again, I think it has to do with those updates. Like, they're not able to update everybody on every change, so a lot of us still remember the old timeline. That's just what it is. But yeah, just wanted to come on and break things down just a little bit, just in case you guys are wondering what it was. And I would like to hear your occurrences, I guess, or your opinions and whatnot. You can just comment down below. And I also, for the new year, I wanted to start doing my readings again and post them here. So if you want to do that, you can always email me. I'll just link my email down below. And what else? Yeah, I want to start breaking down songs, like famous songs that rockers or any musicians have gotten real famous on, that proves that they have sold themselves. You know, they always say, oh, they sold their soul. No, you don't sell your soul, you sell yourself, because you are a soul. You're not a body, you're a soul. So you sell yourself, and well, they sell themselves. So I want to kind of start breaking down the lyrics to famous songs and show and explain how it, what am I saying? And explain how it tells that they've sold their soul, if that makes sense. So I want to start doing that. So again, if you want a reading, I want to do them and I want to post them on here again. So I'll just drop my email and you can just message me there, or just comment and let me know.